Yeah, anytime this man's name is on a feature film that he directed, I'm pretty much there to see it as soon as I can. The Fabelmans was directed by Steven Spielberg in a script that he co-wrote alongside Tony Kushner, and this is essentially his coming-of-age narrative. It's basically telling us a fictionalized version of how he got into movies in the first place. His avatar in this movie is young Sammy Fabelman, who falls in love with film after his parents take him to see the greatest show on earth. So armed with a camera, young Sammy starts to make his own films at home, much to the delight of his supportive mother played by Michelle Williams. It is absolutely insane to me that we can still go to a movie theater and see a new film from the guy who gave us Jaws and E.T. In many ways, Spielberg is kind of immortal. Even after the time comes when he stops making films, we're all gonna remember every single thing he brought us to entertain us. And it really seems like these past couple of years have been passion-fueled for this man. He made an amazing remake of West Side Story a year ago, which he absolutely adored watching with his dad, as he stated in interviews. And now he's basically giving us a biopic of his life, albeit fictionalized. And it's movies like The Fabelmans that really kind of show you what filmmaking is all about. This is the reason why you go to movies these days. This is why you go to escape to the theater for a little while. You go in, you forget about the outside world, and Steven Spielberg just enraptures you in his narratives. Big shocker to a lot of people, this is one of the strongest films of the entire year, and it's one of the strongest directed movies of the entire year. Steven Spielberg's name is on this thing, so you're gonna expect technical mastery. The way his shots are framed, and the way he centers this really around his performers, this is what brilliant filmmaking looks like. I feel like a lot of aspiring filmmakers are gonna be really super inspired by watching The Fabelmans. It sort of feels to me the same way like La La Land does for actors and inspiring them. This, I feel like, is going to inspire directors in the same way La La Land did for me. Because I feel like it just gets all those elements, shooting home movies, the passion for the business growing as you get into your teen years and it becoming especially real. This script's just got it so right. Well, not to mention, the movie looks absolutely exquisite. This cinematographer is a frequent collaborator with Spielberg. This is the same guy who shot Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, and West Side Story a year ago. My god, this is honestly some of the best direction, best cinematography you will see all of 2022 for sure. Some of the best music you'll get all year long, coming from the one and only John Williams, who I could have sworn had already retired. Partially maybe because he probably doesn't want The Rise of Skywalker to be his final film credit. I don't blame the man one bit, because this music, so damn good. This should come as no surprise, because John Williams has quite the reputation as a composer. Another frequent collaborator with Spielberg. It feels like Spielberg is just throwing all the hits from his career at you, while also giving us some incredible characters to root for, with some extremely game actors. We have young Gabriel LaBelle playing Sammy in this, and man does he hit a home run. This is a name to watch out for in the very near future. He was an absolute revelation in this movie. So many points where his passion for this business just consumes him. And it creates some very real fractures with his family and his parents, who, by the way, I would not be surprised if we see Michelle Williams' name on the Best Actress nominees at the Oscars. Cause my god is she good! Also coming with the territory of brilliant direction, Spielberg will leave long takes of Michelle Williams just reacting to a certain thing, and it's just, like, they have an art. This is truly an art, the way they've captured this thing. And what she says about movies is so true. Movies are like dreams, and this whole thing almost feels like a dream. And I think Michelle Williams, even though her character is not fully, there's some things that her character does that I can't really easily forgive, but I just could not help but be mesmerized by her performance. Same thing with Paul Dano, who we all saw earlier this year play a sadistic villain in The Batman. And now he's just the most endearing and lovable father you could ever imagine. Yeah, this is a guy who's very mathematically and scientifically gifted, so he doesn't necessarily see the usefulness of film the way we do, but there's still something very whimsical about this delivery. and I think it's a very, very drastic turn from what Paul Dano was doing earlier this year, continuing to show you why he is proving himself a master. This entire cast really is a home run. Judd Hirsch in the limited screen time he gets is very, very entertaining. Seth Rogen. Okay, let's talk about this guy. Y'all know him for the laugh, right? The like he's a comedy, and he does stuff with his friend James Franco. Like, yeah, that's what you know Seth Rogen to be. But it's roles like this that show you that he can go out of his comfort zone and he can do drama. And I found his performance very, very impressive for what he was given. It's movies like The Fabelmans that really remind you why you love movies. I adored this thing. I think it's easily going to be in my best movies of the year countdown, which I'll be doing at the end of the month. Now, I've noticed a fair amount of people critique the runtime, and it's not unwarranted because The Fabelmans does sit at 2.5 hours long. I definitely want to see this movie again to see if this still holds up. But there were a couple of story elements that I feel like could have been trimmed out of this story. I feel like if you trimmed like 10-15 minutes off of this thing, you would have had a perfect A+ runtime for sure. Like, despite that though, I'm still trying to sit here and think about anything I disliked about The Fabelmans, and I can't really think of anything that comes to mind, guys. I think even though this movie is very long, everything certainly feels earned and it feels warranted, including the ending, which I dare not spoil. Because it's inspiring, it's funny, it's thought-provoking, and the lessons that are being taught to us are actually pretty provocative. Put simply, it's Steven Spielberg being Steven Spielberg. I absolutely adored The Fabelmans, and if you guys are fans of Steven Spielberg like I am, if you're a fan of movies in general, this is your ticket this weekend for sure. I'm going to give The Fabelmans an A+. This is certainly Best Picture worthy, in my honest opinion. But folks, let me know what you thought of The Fabelmans down in the comments section below. What is your favorite Steven Spielberg movie of all time? Because I'm sure if I ask that question, every one of you is going to give me a different answer. And that's what's so amazing. Obviously, though, I'm having a great time making these videos and starting this discussion with you guys. And you guys are all invited to the party. Especially if you're a new viewer and you're a first-time viewer. Do consider becoming a subscriber and hit that notification bell so that way you don't miss another second of this action over here. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up on your way out. Likes really, really help these videos get out there to more lovely viewers like you. Guys, y'all are the best. Stay tuned for more exciting videos hitting my channel very, very soon. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence!